Alrighty guys, so finally we get to the throne room scene in this early rough draft of Return of the Jedi. Lucas wrote this for episode 6 and I've been going over it in a series of videos. I'm sure most of you are caught up now. I'm going to link the rest of them down below. But today's is extremely wild. Like this is the one that we've all been waiting for pretty much. Because we get to see how different that fateful final battle between Luke and Vader could have actually gone with Yoda and Obi-Wan showing up. So for one thing, it doesn't take place on the second Death Star. Now, there are 2 Death Stars in this story, by the way, but on what would later be named Coruscant in the Emperor's hellscape-looking throne room, surrounded by a fuming lake of red-hot lava. Alright, so I can't wait for you guys to hear this, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. In space, Lando is starting to panic because the deflector shields are still protecting the Death Stars. Below, Leia joins the other rebels at the second gun emplacement, just as Han and Chewbacca each take over one of the walkers. Leia and Captain Jode charge the bunker, but they close the blast doors. The land battle becomes fierce. On the city planet, Vader brings Luke before the Emperor in his lava lair.
Kneel before your Emperor.
The Dark Lord threatens him with the laser sword, and the young Jedi stands fast. The Emperor's head is lowered. I kneel before no one, least of all him. The Emperor raises his head and stares at Luke. A sly, evil grin creeps across the ruler's lips.
You are like every inch your father when he first came before me. A Jedi with such promise. Only you come to destroy me and your father. It is a pity you overestimate your abilities. You may succeed with your father, but with me you will fail.
A new voice is heard on the far side of the steaming lake. It's Obi-Wan. It is you who overestimates your abilities. Vader and the Emperor turn to see the shimmering image of Obi-Wan Kenobi standing before them. The Emperor laughs.
At last you appear before me, Obi-Wan.
The boy has many allies. He is stronger than you imagine.
Allies? If they're all as you, I have no concern, for the Netherworld has no control over me. And if you return to this dimension, I will easily defeat you.
There is no entrance to the Netherworld through the dark side. You know very little of its powers.
I know it's not strong enough to save this boy.
Perhaps the boy will be sacrificed, but you will be destroyed as well.
My son will not be destroyed. He will turn to the dark side.
The Emperor and Vader are startled as another voice is heard.
Stronger than you is the boy. Turn, he will not.
Yoda! The Emperor stands and backs away. No, it cannot be.
I survived, as did many others.
But Skywalker will not survive. Destroy him!
Vader hesitates, which makes the Emperor angry.
Destroy him, I said. They can do nothing.
Vader raises his hand, but before he can bring it down, Luke reaches out his hand and a laser sword sitting near the throne leaps into it. Luke ignites the laser sword and blocks his father's blow. A quick sword exchange and Luke forces Vader back. Another exchange and the Dark Lord recovers, pushing the young Jedi onto a small rock surrounded by the bubbling pool of lava. The Emperor cackles.
You are old and weak, Lord Vader. Had you destroyed the boy, you would have been given half the Empire to rule as you will. Now the boy shall have that honor.
It is your Emperor that wishes you destroyed, not I. Vader looks at the Emperor, then back to his son.
Finish it!
Luke looks at the Emperor, then to his father. No, you are my father, and there is still good in you. I only fight in self-defense, not to do your Emperor's bidding. With that, Luke extinguishes the Emperor's laser sword and tosses it to his father, who ignites it as he catches it.
The boy is a fool. Destroy him.
Vader hesitates, then raises the laser sword.
Destroy him and half the Empire will be yours.
The Emperor stands in a rage.
What are you waiting for? Must I do it myself?
The Emperor turns his back on Vader and faces the young Jedi, raising his hands in the air, which causes lightning bolts to strike at Luke. The Jedi raises his hand in defense, and the bolts are deflected by an invisible shield. Wherever a bolt hits, the image of Ben or Yoda momentarily appears at the point of impact.
Your friends in the Netherworld cannot protect you for long, young Skywalker.
The lightning bolts become more intense and Luke drops to his knees under the pressure.
This is the power of the dark side that you deny. Your strength will never match it.
Luke struggles to remain conscious against the superior powers of the Emperor.
Ben, help me. Yoda.
I have foreseen my destruction at the hands of Skywalker, but it is not to be you. Perhaps there's another. Or perhaps your father will be turned. My vision is clouded. The netherworld has influenced my perception. Your father.
The Emperor turns around to see Lord Vader flying at him. The lightning bolts around Luke disappear as Vader hits the Emperor, knocking them both into the fiery lake of lava. The hideous screams of the Emperor are soon muted. Luke struggles to his feet and stares at the spot where his enemy and his father disappeared into the cauldron of molten rock. Wow. Okay, so what did you guys think? It's actually really moving, and it's kind of cool having Obi-Wan and Yoda shield Luke partially from the Emperor's Force lightning. Now, I would love to make this an animation, so I need you guys to show me your support, hit like if you want that to happen, or comment down below. So George Lucas really explored Force Ghost's abilities to a much higher degree than what we got in the movies. And then there was Yoda's line of, "I survived, so did many others," which, putting aside, isn't quite Yoda speak. It's very telling. So is George saying that there are more Jedi that have survived Order 66? Are they all hiding somewhere? Or perhaps does he mean that they've survived, death somehow? Either, in the netherworld or actually corporeal. Was that what his original thoughts on the sequel trilogy was going to be? Having Luke search the galaxy for surviving Jedi? With possibly Yoda and Obi-Wan helping him. Also, Obi-Wan and presumably Yoda were willing to accept sacrificing Luke to end the Emperor. I mean, as was Luke, of course, too, but it means just kind of like, hey. The only one who was not willing to risk Luke was his father, and even when they fought, he begged Luke to finish it, meaning to finish him. He'd rather lose half the Empire and his life to his son than have to kill him. So this episode might have been the end of the Emperor, but I have one final video covering this draft, which, had we gotten that same ending to the film, would have seriously altered the fate of Anakin Skywalker. So that's going to be for the next video. Show me your love and support on this one. I think this was an awesome script that George originally wrote. I would have loved to have seen this. So let me know, would you guys have liked it if Obi-Wan and Yoda had joined Luke in his final confrontation in the film, if we actually got that in canon, or do you prefer it the way that we got it? Let me know down below. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Now, fulfill